This is the Gifford ferry launch here, and this will take you across from Gifford to Inchelium on the other side in the Indian reservation over there. So it's pretty cool little float across. It takes probably about five or so minutes. And there he goes. They're launching off right now. The ferry leaves the Gifford side at 15 minutes past the hour and 15 minutes to the hour. I've rowed across on this ferry a number of times. It's pretty fun. Yeah, it's just a short little trip across the channel here, and you end up on the other side there, right where those trees, or that's probably the old launch there. That's interesting. I never noticed that before. That might be the old launch. The new launch is right there. The ferry leaves the Inchelium side at the top and bottom of every hour. This ferry runs from April 1st to September 30th. And it runs from 6:30 a.m. to 9:45 p.m. during the summer. And from October to March 30th in the winter, it runs from 6:30 in the morning to 8:45 p.m. The ferry closes for 1 week in April during spring break for maintenance. It also will close if the water levels go below 1,229 feet above sea level. Some history about the ferry. In 1898, it began operating across the Columbia River between Gifford and Stevens County and the Colville Reservation community of Inchelium in Ferry County. A congressional decision in 1896 to open the reservation to mineral development by non-Indians resulted in an increase in traffic across the river from the direction of Colville. In 1939 and 1940, water from Lake Roosevelt behind Grand Coulee Dam rose and inundated Inchelium and Gifford. Almost at the dock over there. A new Inchelium grew up on higher ground a few miles away, and the ferry shifted its landings to the new locations. The ferry service continued as a private enterprise until 1974, when the business closed as it was unprofitable. This compelled travelers to drive 30 miles to the Keller Ferry to cross the river. The Colville Confederated Tribes and the Bureau of Indian Affairs asked Congress for funding for a permanent ferry. The BIA arranged for a tug and a barge to move autos across the lake. In 1981, Fisherman's Boat Shop in Everett completed the Columbian Princess on a $1.7 million contract with the Bureau of Indian Affairs. The 120-foot long hull was towed through the Strait of Juan de Fuca to the Columbia River, where it transited 5 sets of locks to Pasco. At Pasco, in July, the ferry with an engine and screw at each end was placed on wheels and trucked overland at 4 to 6 miles an hour, coming into
108
miles to Lincoln and Lincoln County. The unusual convoy, 42 feet wide, passed over 4 highway bridges and 54 culverts, often creating an odd image in a sea of ripening wheat. In 1994, the tribe took over operations of the ferry from the family that had the BIA contract. So this is a completely free ride, so if you're ever in the area, check it out. They made it safely to the other side there, and they'll start unloading after they get tied off over there.